The courtroom in Port Charles had already been filled with tension long before the hearing even began. Every seat was occupied as whispers spread through the gallery about what Nina might say once she took the stand. No one expected her to stay silent forever, but few believed she would actually reveal the truth in front of the judge, especially with Willow and Drew sitting only a few feet away. Willow tried to remain calm as the proceedings started, but her nervous expression made it obvious that she feared something unexpected was coming. Drew sat beside her, confident at first, believing they still had control of the situation. He assumed Nina would avoid creating more chaos for the family. But the moment Nina walked into the courtroom, everything changed. Her face carried a seriousness that immediately caught everyone's attention. Even the judge noticed the shift in atmosphere. Nina looked toward Willow for a brief second, and the emotional weight between mother and daughter became impossible to ignore. Willow looked confused, almost pleading silently for reassurance. Instead, Nina slowly took her seat and prepared to speak. The attorney began with routine questions, expecting another careful and limited testimony. Nina answered calmly at first, explaining the recent conflicts within the family and the growing tension surrounding Drew's decisions. But then the questioning took a sharper turn. The lawyer asked whether Nina believed Willow had been fully aware of everything happening behind the scenes. The courtroom fell silent. Drew immediately stiffened, sensing danger. Willow's expression turned pale as Nina hesitated for several seconds before finally answering. Her voice trembled at first, but she forced herself to continue. Nina admitted that important details had been hidden from Willow for months. She explained that Drew had been making decisions without fully considering the consequences, and that several private conversations had revealed motives far different from what had been presented publicly. The judge listened carefully, while the attorneys exchanged stunned looks. Drew quickly interrupted, objecting angrily and accusing Nina of trying to manipulate the case out of personal resentment. But the judge warned him to remain quiet and allowed Nina to continue her testimony. That was when the real shock arrived. Nina revealed that she had recently uncovered information proving that Drew intentionally kept Willow isolated from critical facts involving the family conflict. According to Nina, Willow had unknowingly trusted someone who was carefully controlling the narrative around her. The revelation sent visible shock through the courtroom gallery. Willow stared at Drew in disbelief. For weeks, she had defended him against criticism from nearly everyone around her. She believed he had protected her during difficult moments and helped her navigate the growing pressure surrounding the family. But hearing Nina speak with such certainty began to crack the trust Willow had placed in him. Drew tried once again to defend himself, insisting Nina was twisting events to damage his relationship with Willow. However, Nina refused to back down. She explained that she stayed silent for too long because she feared losing Willow completely, but she could no longer ignore the truth after realizing how deeply the situation had spiraled out of control. The judge asked Nina directly whether she believed Willow had been manipulated. The entire courtroom waited for her answer. Nina slowly looked toward Willow before responding with heartbreaking honesty. She admitted that Willow had been emotionally vulnerable and surrounded by constant pressure, making it easier for others to influence her decisions. Nina clarified that she was not trying to humiliate her daughter. Instead, she wanted Willow to finally understand everything that had been hidden from her. Willow's eyes filled with tears. She remembered every warning people had given her over the past several months. Carly questioned Drew's intentions. Michael repeatedly expressed concerns about the growing secrecy surrounding their family conflicts. Even some of Willow's closest friends sensed that something was wrong. Yet Willow ignored them all because she believed Drew deserved her trust. Now, sitting in court, while Nina exposed painful truths one after another, Willow started wondering if everyone else had been right all along. The emotional pressure inside the courtroom became unbearable. Even the judge paused briefly before continuing the hearing. Drew's frustration turned into visible panic as he realized he was losing control of the situation. Each new statement from Nina seemed to push Willow further away
Another
from him.
unexpected detail emerged. Nina revealed that someone close to the family had privately contacted her weeks earlier, warning her that Drew's actions could eventually destroy Willow emotionally if the truth remained hidden. Nina refused to identify the person publicly, but the statement created immediate speculation throughout the courtroom. Drew demanded to know who betrayed him. The judge warned him again to control his outbursts, but the damage had already been done. Willow looked overwhelmed as the possibility of even more secrets hanging over their relationship became impossible to deny. Nina's voice softened as she addressed Willow directly. She admitted that she made many mistakes as a mother and understood why Willow struggled to trust her, but she insisted that everything she revealed in court came from genuine concern, not revenge. Nina explained that watching Willow become increasingly isolated and emotionally exhausted finally pushed her to speak out. Willow could barely respond. Part of her wanted to reject Nina's testimony completely, but another part could no longer ignore the fear growing inside her. Drew's defensive reactions only made the situation worse. Instead of calming Willow, his anger seemed to confirm that deeper truths were being exposed. The judge eventually requested a short recess, allowing everyone a chance to recover from the explosive testimony. As people began leaving the courtroom, whispers spread rapidly through the hallways. Reporters rushed to discuss Nina's shocking statements, while family members struggled to process what had just happened. Willow remained frozen in her seat. Drew leaned toward her, desperately trying to explain himself, but Willow appeared emotionally distant. For the first time in a long while, she looked uncertain about whether she could still believe him. Across the room, Nina quietly watched her daughter with tears in her eyes. She understood that her testimony may have permanently changed their family forever, but she also believed the truth had to come out before even more damage was done. When the hearing resumed, the atmosphere felt completely different. The confidence Drew carried earlier had disappeared. Meanwhile, Willow seemed emotionally torn between loyalty and growing doubt. The judge carefully reviewed the testimony before addressing the courtroom. While no final ruling would be made immediately, the judge acknowledged that Nina's statements raised serious concerns requiring further investigation. That announcement alone sent another wave of shock through the room. Drew realized the situation was far from over. As the hearing ended, Willow slowly stood up without saying a word. Drew attempted to follow her, but she hesitated before walking away, clearly needing space to think. The painful distance between them was impossible to miss. Nina remained behind for several moments, emotionally drained after everything she revealed. Although she feared Willow might never forgive her, she also knew silence would have been far worse. Outside the courthouse, tensions exploded as reporters surrounded everyone involved. Questions flew rapidly about Nina's testimony, Drew's reactions, and whether Willow would finally reconsider everything that had happened. But the biggest question remained unanswered. Would Willow eventually discover even more secrets hiding beneath the surface? Or was Nina's courtroom confession only the beginning of an even larger betrayal waiting to be uncovered in Port Charles? As relationships continue to fracture and hidden truths come to light, the fallout from this shocking courtroom moment may change multiple lives forever. And with emotions running higher than ever, nobody can predict who will still be standing together once the truth fully emerges. Fans should prepare for even more emotional confrontations, unexpected alliances, and painful revelations as the drama surrounding Nina, Willow, and Drew continues to intensify.